Yeah! You're listening to an encore broadcast of The Michael Savage Show.
Listens to Michael Savage, not just your average sheeple.
Times have changed so drastically that a phony general like Wesley Clark can, at one hand, support the president, support the troops, but when his greedy desires get in the way of his better judgment, he starts to attack them. Here is a general who once commanded men on a battlefield, stabbing the troops in the back, and of course he's being cheered widely by the American left. They'll even take a military man when he is a useful idiot. And Wesley Clark is no more than a useful idiot right now.
Savage.
The guy who trains martial arts, all his life, imaginary foes, comes up against a gangbanger who shoots him in the head before he can go into, hey! He's dead. That's why I never got into martial arts, because I figured there's always a lunatic with a gun. Put your hands up. He just slashes your throat. You get overconfident. Look what happened to a lot of these guys. I mean, it's a good exercise and all that. Hey! But the street fighter already pulled out a gun and cut his throat.
This is the Savage Nation. Listens to Michael Savage, not just your average sheeple.
The truth is, you got to be jealous of the movie stars. They do live better than you and I. There is no question. I know why I've been depressed all my life. You take one ride through Bel Air, it's awful. I mean, you can never have that, no matter what you make. Guys live there like kings of the past dreamed of. The only good news is there's so much construction going on and reconstruction that I know they're as miserable as I am at night. Because they can't sleep during the day. They can't do anything. It's noise.
Savage.
Why do you think we're being challenged by the extreme elements of Islam? Let's lay it on the line here. What they're saying is we don't want Hollywood's pornography infecting our women and our daughters. And we're willing to die for it. The left will tell you that we were hit because of our foreign policy. Well, it's only a half truth. The full truth is that it is the vile imagery and the corrupt imagery that the radical Islamist does not want in his land. How much more do you have to know than that? Boil it down. Make it simple.
This is the Savage Nation. What is the Savage Nation? He's not angry. He's just smart.
15 years ago, I had a health show for 1 hour a week. It was such a hit, but you can't believe the questions you would get. Dr. Savage, I want to tell you, I go to the bathroom, I stand over the bowl for minutes, nothing comes out. Oh, like that. For hours this go on. It was so awful. People's bodily functions, yuck. I don't even like my own bodily functions, never mind a stranger's.
Savage.
If you take that approach, that there is no spirit, there's no afterlife, there's no God, so what? You can still be moral. That's the whole point. And also, it shouldn't change your whole attitude towards how you treat other people anyway. It doesn't have to turn you into a monster. If you're only doing it because you're afraid of getting punished at the end, it makes you a worse person. If you're an atheist who's decent to other people because you want to be decent, you're a better person than the religious person who's doing it for fear that you're going to be punished at the end of the road.
This is the Savage Nation.
I'm sick and tired of watching TV at night. So I went and ordered like 6 CDs on boating. Now remember, I'm no novice. I know what I'm doing. I've been boating a long time. So I tore it open last night when I got home. 1 tape out of the 6 was what I ordered. Top 60 tips for sailing. I don't have a sailboat, you idiots. Get some English-speaking kids in there, morons. So I had my assistant call them up. Oh, yeah, well, put it back in the mail. Screw them.
Michael Savage, now more than ever.
You know, you have this image of what you're going to do. You see these old dudes, just get up, have a cup of coffee, walk with the dog. But I don't know. Is that going to work for me? I mean, imagine, what would happen to me if I see the newspaper rack and I want to comment and there's no one to talk to? So that's what keeps me here on the grindstone, because ultimately, while your mind is active, there's no such thing as retirement. Unless you get sick, then God retires you. But other than that, I'm going to keep doing this because there's nothing else but the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Listens to Michael Savage. Only the most intelligent callers in all of talk radio.
You get up early in the morning to see what bomb went off, and there's this idiot weightlifter, that fat creep on television with that butt machine. It's nauseating. Up, down, up, down, up, down. 5 in the morning. Who is that maniac? What's he on? I say to myself. John's butt machine. God in heaven.
Savage.
the politicians are like the drunken Indian chiefs who sold out the American Indians for wampum, for guns, and for booze. And that's exactly what your mayors and your governors are doing. They're selling you down the river, especially if you're a cop. It's a disgrace. And I am talking about illegal aliens and the crime wave that's sweeping across America. If the police go and arrest them after they have been deported and have snuck back in America, the police lose their job.
It's not the same old blah, blah, blah. This is the Savage Nation. Listens to Michael Savage. Only the most intelligent callers in all of talk radio.
I am really sick of you belittling the accomplishments that John Kerry made.
Are you aware that I didn't make it up, that it came from the Boston.com website?
All you do is
Now,
belittle.
here we go again. I'm going to give you one last chance.
Stop clicking.
Shut up, you Democrat fraud. Don't ask me if I'm a war hero. I'm not a war hero. But I have every right to talk about someone who pretends to be who may not be.
Savage.
Drag racing on the connecting highway in Queens, leaving rubber for 200 feet on it. That's when America was great, when the chrome was thick and the women were straight. That was a different country. When you stepped on the gas and you had 2 4-barrel carburetors and the fuel spilled all over the gutter and it stank and it left a rubber strip and there was no such thing as an environmentalist, that was a country that I liked.
It's not the same old blah, blah, blah. This is the Savage Nation.
Come on.
What is the Savage Nation? Borders, language, culture.
I've said this for years, that many of the radical Muslims are repelled not so much by our foreign policy as much as they are by our social, cultural, and moral decadence. And this is what's missed by the liberals. They would say it's our foreign policy. I would say it's the crap that's coming out of Hollywood. And they'd rather keep their women in a demure manner than see them in tight jeans doing ecstasy at night. That's what really freaks them out.
Savage.
A friend of mine funded the cardiac wing of a hospital in San Francisco. And I was so inspired to see people of medicine, and I said, there still are good people on this planet who do wonders, and we never hear of them. Why are the cameras of the media never focused on them? Why do we see only the negative, the darkness of our world projected by the media? It's awful. The media, it's literally the eye of Satan.
This is the Savage Nation.
Come on.
What is the Savage Nation? Borders, language, culture.
O'Reilly said that the SWIFT vets are irrelevant. He's wrong about that. If he knows anything about combat veterans, they take their medals very seriously. These are the men who live and die for our freedom. Medals have real meaning, and you can't dilute them any more than you can dilute currency. You can't have a gold standard and put out lead coins and say that it doesn't matter if you put lead coins amongst the gold coins.
Savage.
Americans are generally a very tolerant people. Even American-style tolerance has its limits, and I believe millions of Americans have reached theirs unless we take control of the left-wing groups who are abusing the media, the courts, and the church, the schools, the police, abusing the military. We Americans will suffer a loss of freedom and liberty because of an authoritarianism that will arise in this country.
This is the Savage Nation. What is the Savage Nation? It's America's most exciting talk show.
You know, it's a strange phenomenon. Every rat who's ever cheated me has come to an end that was horrendous. I think somebody up there likes me. But I know that every rat who's ever done me in has, in the end of the day, not done very well indeed. So I leave it up to God. I don't seek vengeance myself. Leave vengeance to God. God gets even with all of the cockroaches on the earth. All of the human cockroaches in pan get it from God. They never live to enjoy a cent that they stole from you. Ever. I've never seen it happen.
Savage.
I had an epiphany in the toilet this morning. And it occurred to me that step by step, the deviant scum have made everything legal and sane, illegal and insane, and they're working on making everything that's been illegal and immoral, legal and moral. It's amazing to me how the Boy Scouts have become the deviants. The perverts are now elevated to the height of cleanliness. It's amazing to me. Everything's upside down.
This is the Savage Nation.